Beautiful people, today's video is about oneness. Now, at your most fundamental core, you are one with all life, all expressions of life. This isn't some sort of like spiritual mumbo jumbo. Quantum physics has proven that all matter, so every particle, all atoms, separate forms, arise from one single, unified, undifferentiated field of information. It's energy. Okay, so this consciousness, this loving intelligence, is actually paying attention to us and bringing all these expressions of life into form. When you realize this, when you realize how much you have in common with all life, with everyone around you, everything, a bird, a dolphin, the trees, then you start to live in harmony with the higher order or the higher purpose of the universe. And the purpose is the expression of universal consciousness into form through separate form. So this unified field of information, or God, or whatever you want to call it, literally has split itself into subjective packets of consciousness, all at different frequencies, all vibrating at different frequency. Because as modern day quantum physics experiments have shown, all matter is simply energy vibrating. So to put this in perspective, your entire body, okay, is made up of atoms. And atoms are what make up all the cells in your body. There's some 50 trillion cells of the human body are made up by atoms. And all the organs and the tissues, muscles in your body, they're all made up of cells. And then when organs and tissues function together, we get systems of the body, like the cardiovascular system, or say the digestive system, reproductive system. And systems functioning together make up you and me, okay? Our physical shell, the vehicle that we experience this dimension of space and time through. It's made up of these systems. So it's quite obvious that you are fundamentally made up of those atoms. And atoms are completely empty space. There's nothing in there. There's no solidarity to this apparently solid world. That's a fact. Every atom is 99.999999% nothing. There's nothing physical to it. It's frequency. It's actually information or light. And then the space between the atoms is even more vast. So what we start to understand is that, as I said, we are one with all of life. That the mystic, the spiritual teachers, Buddha, Jesus, and Einstein, we're all talking about the same thing. Einstein's famous quote that the field is the sole governing agency of the particle. So just think about that for a second. So you are comprised of these particles. They make up you, and the sole governing agency of all matter, of all atoms, where they appear in space and time, is the field, the unified field of information and energy where everything physical comes from. It's a unified field. There's no polarity there. There is no masculine and feminine consciousness. Masculine and feminine consciousness exist here in space and time, level of form. There's no left or right. There's no positive charge and there's no negative charge. There's no up or down, hot or cold. Polarity is a function of this dimension of space and time. But where you come from is a unified field of loving consciousness and energy. And in that space, that source consciousness, if you will, everything is one, everything is unified. So when we live as materialists, if your perception of self and understanding of your place in this universe is merely coming through the 5 senses, then most of this video will sound like BS, and you'll probably not still be watching this video anymore. And before my car accident, so before I had a near-death experience, spent that time in a coma, I would have been with you, I would have agreed with you, because I perceived everything through the 5 senses as a materialist. If I can see it, if I can touch it, if I can taste it, it's what is. Everything else can just be left to the realm of mysticism. But really, quantum physics is just the scientific exploration of mysticism and spirituality. That's what it is. This is a spiritual science that's coming to the forefront now. So that's today's video. I'm not going to go any further because I don't want to give too much information away. But just remember, the next time you say, I have nothing in common with this person, you have everything in common with all people, with all expressions of life in this universe. We all have shared mortality, and we all arise from the same unified field of consciousness. That's oneness. Okay, so go out into the world today, share some light, share some love, see how you can give to another. And remember, when you give to others, you are giving to yourself. Okay, so that's it. Lots of love, guys. Peace.